What's going on, guys? Mac White here. Welcome to the video. Today we're going to be doing something completely different. We're going to be doing a Q&A. I'm going to answer all your questions. If you're thinking, Mac, what are you on about? That clearly means that you don't follow me on Instagram, which means what in God's name are you doing? Look in the description and you will find my Instagram. Click on it and follow me. Then you'll be able to keep up with how many times I upload, when I'm uploading, all that good stuff. So let's get into it. First question is, what supplements do you use? Right, so I use 3 supplements. I use protein powder, creatine, and I also use BCAAs, branch chain amino acids. So first, let's start with protein. I mean, you don't need to have it. I feel like it's very efficient, very convenient. If you're a big guy and your protein requirement is much larger than the average Joe, you're obviously going to have to get it from somewhere else because it's going to be quite expensive to just buy more and more meat. And on top of that, it's going to be a ball ache. You're going to be sat there eating it all day long when you can literally just have a shake, put some water in it, put some milk in it, whatever you prefer, and it'll literally take you 2 minutes to just drink it. So I think overall, I prefer it that way instead of shoving loads of food down my mouth, but everyone's different. And on top of that, it is so cheap. You can buy a 5 kg bag for like 40, 50 quid off My Protein or even bulk powders. So I'll put that in the description as well for you. So I definitely recommend getting a good protein whey. Creatine, yeah, again, you don't exactly need it, but that's literally like saying you don't need clothes. And if you didn't wear clothes, you'd probably have one friend and you know, that'd probably be some guy who's an old pervert or something. Definitely recommend creatine because there's actually been concrete, tangible evidence for it. There's been scientific studies that it actually increases your muscle growth and on top of that, your strength growth. Literally, as soon as you jump on a cycle of creatine, don't worry, it's not Tren or it's not Winstrol or something. It's literally safe as sound. There's been scientific evidence. You can literally get a massive bag from like Home Bargains, which can last you like 5 years and it's like 20 quid. So it would be a little bit silly not to buy it. You get a lot of bang for your buck. And also, if you wanted to get the amount of creatine that you get in a scoop in your diet, you'd have to eat loads of chicken, loads of fish, and yet again, like the protein, that is just an absolute ball ache, and you can just supplement it with 5 grams a day. And also, since we're on the topic of creatine, you don't actually have to jump off and on the cycle. That is a myth. It giving you kidney problems, that's also a myth. If you just jump on 5 grams a day every single day and you put a scoop of creatine in your protein powder, even if you just put the teaspoon in a bottle with some water, whatever you want to do, take that every single day and you'll be sweet. And the final one, branch chain amino acids, BCAAs. They're another thing that you can get through food. That would take a hell of a long time and a hell of a lot of eating to get the correct amount that will actually increase your muscle growth. So yeah, again, it comes in a powder form and you literally just put that in the bottle, mix it up with some water, drink that before the workout, after the workout, or even intra-workout. It really does depend on the individual, how you want to do it. Everyone has their own preference. So yeah, again, it's not a necessity, but I would recommend it. You can't lose anything having it, so I'd rather have it than not have it. When did you first start going to the gym? I first started going when I was about 15, but that was very sporadically. Like, I'd go one day and then like 4 days after that, I'd go again, and then I'd not go for like a week and then go then. So it was all over the place really. I didn't actually consistently go day after day, week after week. It wasn't a sustainable plan. I didn't adhere to anything. It was just all sporadic, random. The time I did start going properly was when I split with my ex-girlfriend. My kind of way of getting through that breakup was getting into the gym, transferring that negative energy into something positive. So I kept smashing out the gym, kept training. I found a training partner. He was a bodybuilder, and then looking up to him, that's now where I want to be in a few years' time, you know, competing on stage. And yeah, so that was when I was around 16. And ever since, obviously, now I'm 18, I've been training consistently for around 2 whole years. But to answer your question, it was around 16. What is your deadlift, bench, and squat PR? Right, so deadlift is at 160, which I currently hit today. My squat is 120 kg for 1 rep, and my bench is 90 kg. Favorite time to train in the day? My favorite time would have to be after I have a few meals, so I'd say 1 to 2 o'clock. I've got a few meals inside me, which gives me more energy and performing the gym much more optimally in comparison to just waking up and training. I can't do that because I hate to train on an empty stomach. Also, the fact that the gym is completely dead at that time, and I hate going in the gym at about 6 o'clock when it's rammed. You literally can't find any dumbbells that you want. For me, that isn't a big deal because I train with like 50s and, you know, no one's a monster like me. What's the best way to push yourself into a routine and go into the gym regularly? I'd say the best way is to find a plan. It is very cliche, but you know, find a plan that you enjoy. You know, if you don't enjoy something, you're not going to adhere to it. And adherence and sustainability is the biggest key, especially in fitness, because if you train, let's say 3 days a week, and you do that for 4 months, and you come off it and you don't want to do it anymore, then that's not very good in the long run. But if you trained even 1 day a week and you did it for years, then that's going to create more substantial results than the other. Don't throw everything out the bag at once, so don't do 5 training sessions a week, 5 cardio sessions a week, drop your calories by 1,000 because you're just going to kill yourself. Slowly cut things out, slowly increase training volume, slowly increase cardio volume. If it means that you increase your training sessions after 4 months, it doesn't matter. As long as you're slowly improving and as long as you're keeping a sustainable plan where you're going to adhere to it, that's going to maximize your training, that's going to maximize your results, and also that's going to maximize your enjoyment. What's your favourite veg? Onions. Why do you have ketchup on your Nando's? Right. I was contemplating on actually not answering this and just moving to Siberia, being a weirdo and disconnect with the outside world, having no friends and being an absolute weirdo and an introvert. But it is time, I need to answer it. I love ketchup. I don't know what it is. Since I was a kid, I literally put ketchup on everything. I even got to a point in my life when I was about 13 and I put it on my Sunday dinners, which is just rancid, and there is literally something wrong with that, as Alex Brown would say. Big shout out. It's just stupid. Like, I don't understand why I do it. I would understand if it's a moderate amount where you just put some on the side, but for me, it literally is a full tub. When I go to Nando's, I feel like soon enough they're gonna remember my face and they're actually gonna say, right, you've come in here a few times, we've seen what you've done, you're abusing sauce in the wrong way, which sounds a bit weird, but I need to have it because I just love it. Would you open up your own gym and help train others? I mean, of course that's the dream in the future. I want to eventually open up my own gym. It's 2019 and my fitness journey has literally just started in a sense. You know, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. That is a life goal. Just help people and help them train and stuff and motivate them. I feel like it's just such a rewarding industry. The more you put in, the more you get out. In the long run, it will be a dream. Halves every day or just on leg days? I still wouldn't do it every day because, you know, there's a certain principle of doing too much volume, and then what comes with that is the laws of diminishing return, which basically is an economic principle where if you increase something, then the rewards of that decreases. So, you know, the more that you train your calves, the more fatigued you're going to be, and then it's going to get to a point where it's counterproductive. So I wouldn't train any muscle group every day. Obviously that'll be too much. You know, 3, maybe pushing it 4 days a week you could do for your calves, to say that it is a small muscle group and it doesn't need as much recovery. Every day a little bit too much. Do you believe it's important to have a cheat day? I believe that it's important mentally, so taking a little break off your diet, having 1 or 2 meals here and there in the week out of the given 34 to 35, if you eat, you know, a lot of food like me, then I don't think it's that bad because that ratio is quite minute. However, you don't actually need a cheat day. People say, oh, it's good and it boosts your metabolism. That is a load of shit. Refeed days are so important, but I'm not going to go into that because that's going to be a separate video that I'm going to do in the future. So refeed days instead of cheat days. What's your gym playlist? Bodybuilders and most fitness people have their own playlist, but for me, I can train on anything. Like, I can train on Travis Scott, I can train on Dave, I can train on ASAP Rocky. For me to get hyped, quite easy because I'm just so energetic and I'm just a freak. Literally just bounce off the walls all day long. So for me to get even more hyper than I naturally am, it is quite scary. Right, final question. How do you lose body fat? You want to be in a caloric deficit, which means that you want to be consuming less than you are expending on a day-to-day basis. So first things first, you want to find out your caloric maintenance levels. How you can do that is you can search online for an online calculator, then you'd fill in your own stats, which I will put in the description of this video. From that, you would get your caloric maintenance level, which is the amount of calories that you have on a day-to-day basis and don't gain or lose weight. And then from there, you will subtract 500 calories, so you will be in a caloric deficit. That way you'll be losing 1 to 2 pounds a week. Body fat will decrease over time. You would have to be consistent with it. And also you want to be eating 1 to 1.5 grams of protein per pound of body weight that you are. So a 200-pound male would have to intake roughly around 240 grams of protein per day, just so that you're holding on to that muscle so you're not losing it whilst cutting down on calories. And then the third part of the battle is getting enough recovery every night, around 6 to 8 hours. And on that note, I'm going to end up the video here, guys. But before I do, can you do 2 things to support me? Like the video as always, subscribe if you're new, and the third one, you don't have to do it, enable the notifications, but that's not compulsory. But I'm going to end it here, so I'll see you guys in the next one.